CDL Practice Test, California, General Knowledge, Part 12. Question number 283. Letting the air out of hot tires, A, is a good idea because the extra pressure will be relieved. B, will have no effect at all. C, will cool them down, you will be able to continue your trip sooner. D, is a bad idea because when the tires cool off, the pressure will be too low. The correct answer is here. D, is a bad idea because when the tires cool off, the pressure will be too low. Explanation. Air pressure increases with temperature. Do not let air out or the pressure will be too low when the tires cool off. Question number 284. Which of these is a good rule to follow when using a fire extinguisher? A, aim at the base of the fire. B, keep as close to the fire as possible. C, stay downwind of the fire. The correct answer is here. A, aim at the base of the fire. Explanation. In a fire, your first priority is your safety and that of others. To use a fire extinguisher to put out a fire, stand upwind from the fire at a safe distance. Let the wind carry the extinguisher from you to the fire. Aim the extinguisher at the source or base of the fire, not up in the flames. Persist until the burning material has cooled to the point that the fire cannot restart. Question number 285. The purpose of retarders is to A, apply extra braking power to the non-drive axles. B, help prevent skids and reduce brake wear. C, help slow the vehicle while driving and reduce brake wear. The correct answer is here. C, help slow the vehicle while driving and reduce brake wear. Explanation. Retarders can be used to help slow a vehicle, reducing the need for braking and thus reducing brake wear. However, retarders should not be used on slippery roads because the retarders can cause the drive wheels to skid. Question number 286. What are two ways to know when to upshift? A, use engine speed, RPM, and road signs. B, use your watch and engine sounds. C, use engine speed, RPM, and road speed, MPH. The correct answer is here. C, use engine speed, RPM, and road speed, MPH. Explanation. Before driving your vehicle, check the driver's manual to find out the recommended operating RPM range. As you're driving, keep your eye on your tachometer as your vehicle increases speed. Shift up when engine RPM gets to the top of the recommended range. Another way to know when to shift up is to learn in advance which gears are suited to which speeds. As you drive, watch your speedometer and shift accordingly. Question number 287. When should you review the post-trip inspection report from the previous driver? A, you should review it once a week. B, it doesn't have to be reviewed. C, you should review it during your pre-trip inspection. The correct answer is here. C, you should review it during your pre-trip inspection. Explanation. Before performing the pre-trip inspection on your vehicle, review the previous driver's post-trip inspection report. Check whether all problems discovered by the last driver have been repaired. Question number 288. When you are passing another vehicle, pedestrian, or bicyclist, you should assume that they A. will move out of your lane of traffic, B. C. may move into your traffic lane. The correct answer is here, C. may move into your traffic lane. Explanation. When passing another vehicle, pedestrian, or bicyclist, assume that they have not seen you and might move into your way. Communicate your presence to them and proceed with caution. Question number 289. Which of the following CMVs are most likely to get stuck at a raised railroad crossing? A. moving van, B. lowboy, C. car carrier, D. all of the above. The correct answer is here, D. all of the above. Explanation. These trailers can get stuck on raised crossings, low slung units, lowboy, car carrier, moving van, possum belly livestock trailer, single axle tractor pulling a long trailer with its landing gear set to accommodate a tandem axle tractor. Question number 290. Name 2 causes of fires. A. driver smoking and following too close. B. underinflated tires and jewels that touch. C. tight turns and gravel roads. The correct answer is here, B. underinflated tires and jewels that touch. Explanation. Tires that overheat can catch fire. Underinflation causes increased flexing of the tire, which increases tire temperature. Dual tires that touch each other or other parts of the vehicle can overheat due to friction. Question number 291. Your blood alcohol concentration, BAC, depends on your A. body weight, B. age, C. height. The correct answer is here, A. body weight. Explanation. Your blood alcohol concentration, BAC, is affected by how much alcohol you drink, how quickly you drink it, and how much you weigh. The larger your body, the larger the volume through which the alcohol has to spread. Question number 292. Which of these statements is true about other drivers? A. mail or delivery truck drivers do not pose a hazard. B. short-term or daily rental truck drivers are often not used to the limited vision and pose a hazard. C. drivers using turn signals can be trusted to turn in the direction they indicate. The correct answer is here, B. short-term or daily rental truck drivers are often not used to the limited vision and pose a hazard. Explanation. A car driver who has never driven a truck before will be unused to a rental truck's size and limited view toward its sides and rear. This lack of truck driving experience makes a rental truck a hazard on the road. Question number 293. Which of the following is not a likely effect of overloading a truck? A. overloading a vehicle can cause it to gain too much speed on downgrades. B. overloading a vehicle causes an increase in the time it takes to stop. C. overloading a vehicle can have a negative effect on steering. D. overloading a vehicle makes it more likely the vehicle will stall. The correct answer here, D. Overloading a vehicle makes it more likely the vehicle will stall. Explanation. Lack of steering control, speed control, and braking control are the primary concerns with an overloaded vehicle. Stalling your vehicle is unlikely to be affected by overloading. Question number 294. What is the required aggregate working load limit of tie downs? A. Strong enough to lift 2 times the weight of the cargo. B. Strong enough to lift all the weight of the cargo. C. Strong enough to stop all fore and aft movement of the cargo. D. Strong enough to lift 1/2 the weight of the cargo. The correct answer here, D. Strong enough to lift 1/2 the weight of the cargo. Explanation. Tie downs are used to prevent cargo from shifting or falling off. The tie downs must be rated, in aggregate, high enough to lift 1/2 the weight of the cargo. 1 tie down per 10 feet of cargo is required. Minimum of 2 tie downs. No matter how small the load, use at least 2 tie downs. These are federal regulations. CDL Handbook, page 33. Inside enclosed trailers, e.g., dry vans, refers, etc. Tie downs may also be required. Note, there are additional rules for securing specialty cargo, e.g., logs, cars, boulders, coils, pipe, shipping containers, etc. These extra rules can be found in the CFR, Title 49 and 93. If your company hauls specialty cargo, your employer will provide extra training. Freshly graduated students aren't normally hired to haul specialty cargo. Question number 296. You check your safety belt to ensure that A. It is securely mounted. B. It has 6 yards of slack. C. It matches the color of the rest of your cab. D. It is original equipment. The correct answer is here, A. It is securely mounted. Explanation. You should inspect your seatbelt to be sure that it is securely mounted, not ripped or frayed, and latches properly. Color and other aesthetics are not important, and 6 yards is way too much slack. Question number 297. The distance that you should scan ahead in a congested area is about A. 32 feet, B. 2 vehicle lengths ahead, C. 1 block. The correct answer is here, C. 1 block. Explanation. Most good drivers look at least 12 to 15 seconds ahead. At lower speeds, that's about 1 block. At highway speeds it's about 1/4 mile. Question number 298. The Commercial Driver's Handbook suggests several things to do when you pass a vehicle. Which of these is not one of them? A. At night, flash your lights from low to high beam and back while you pass the vehicle. B. Constantly blow your horn while passing the vehicle. C. Assume the other driver does not see you. The correct answer is here, B. Constantly blow your horn while passing the vehicle. Explanation. Allow for the possibility that the driver of the vehicle that you wish to pass doesn't know you're there. Make your presence known to the driver. In daytime, tap your horn very lightly. At night, briefly flash your headlights. However, sound a sharp blast on your horn only as a warning to others of danger. Question number 299. What 3 things related to cargo are the driver's responsibility? A. Weighing the cargo, properly securing the cargo, and delivering the cargo. B. Preparing the shipping papers, inspecting the cargo, and properly securing the cargo. C. Inspecting the cargo, recognizing overloads, and properly securing the cargo. The correct answer is here. C. Inspecting the cargo, recognizing overloads, and properly securing the cargo. Explanation. As a commercial truck driver, you are responsible for the cargo you carry. This includes making sure it is balanced, secured, and not overloaded. If the cargo contains hazardous materials, you must also inspect it for proper labels, shipping papers, and placards. Question number 300. If you are convicted for driving under the influence, DUI, while driving a commercial vehicle, and this is your first offense, you will most likely get A. Probation for a period of 1 year. B. A fine of $500. C. At least a 1-year suspension of your CDL. The correct answer is here. C. At least a 1-year suspension of your CDL. Explanation. If you are convicted of DUI for the first time, you will be disqualified from driving CMVs for at least 1 year, and you may also face criminal penalties. If you are convicted of a second DUI offense, you will lose your CDL for life. 49 CFR 383.51. Question number 301. What is included in a windshield check? A. A check of the wiper blades. B. No need to check the windshield. C. Checking if it is clean. D. Damage check, cleaning, wiper arm check. The correct answer is here. D. Damage check, cleaning, wiper arm check. Explanation. When checking a windshield, you should check that the wiper blades work properly, clean if necessary, and check for any damage. Question number 302. Is it safe to add coolant to a coolant recovery tank or coolant overflow tank while the engine is at operating temperature? A. Yes, but only if the coolant recovery container is part of the pressurized system. B. No, never. C. Yes, if not part of a pressurized system. The correct answer is here. C. Yes, if not part of a pressurized system. Explanation. Some vehicles have sight glasses, see-through coolant overflow containers, or coolant recovery containers. These permit you to check the coolant level while the engine is hot. If the container is not part of the pressurized system, the cap can be safely removed and coolant added even when the engine is at operating temperature. Never remove the radiator cap or any part of the pressurized system until the system is cooled. Question number 303. Which of these statements is true about backing heavy vehicles? A. Helpers should be out of sight and use only spoken signals to communicate with the driver. B. It's safer to back toward the right side of the vehicle. C. You should avoid backing whenever you can. The correct answer is here. C. You should avoid backing whenever you can. Explanation. Backing up a large vehicle is always dangerous, even with a helper. Try to avoid backing up as much as possible. Question number 304. When you're driving in cold weather, your tires must A. Provide enough traction to steer and push the vehicle through snow. B. Have at least 4-stroke 32-inch tread depth. C. Have at least 6-stroke 32-inch tread depth. The correct answer is here. A. Provide enough traction to steer and push the vehicle through snow. Explanation. Snow-covered road surfaces provide much less traction than dry surfaces. Your tires must provide enough traction to maneuver your vehicle on snow safely. Under federal regulations, your front tires must have a tread depth of at least 4-stroke 32-inch, and all other tires must have a tread depth of at least 2-stroke 32-inch, for best traction. However, make sure that the treads are even deeper before you try to drive on snow. 49 CFR 570.62. Question number 305. Stab braking should not be used on vehicles with A. Air brakes, B. Spring brakes, C. Anti-lock brakes. The correct answer is here. C. Anti-lock brakes. Explanation. In stab braking, you deliberately keep locking and unlocking the wheels. Hence, stab braking should not be used on a vehicle with anti-lock brakes. Use controlled braking instead. Question number 306. Name some important steering system parts. A. Mainspring, axle, and spring shackle. B. Leaf spring, vehicle frame, and torque rod. C. Tie rod, spindle, and pitman arm. The correct answer is here. C. Tie rod, spindle, and pitman arm. Explanation. The pitman arm, spindle, tie rod, and steering gearbox are all parts of the steering system.